I'm just one of those type of people, like if I think of something, I'm just gonna try and do it. Some of my ideas work really, really big, and then some of them you never even hear about. But at least I know I tried, and I think that's the main thing. It's like, don't defeat yourself. You know, never defeat yourself by talking yourself out of it. You know, oh, I don't have enough money, or I don't have this. Don't ever do that.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Cynthia's going.
Okay, first of all, I just would like to say I always hate going behind Candy's success story because she is so successful. This is like the hardest working lady that I know, and every time I think I'm doing it, then I holler at my girl Candy. She has like 30 other things going on. So, and I said all that to say, you know, ladies, entrepreneurs, you know, future entrepreneurs that are in the room, it's so important to surround yourself with women, with people that are doing things, because it truly, truly does motivate you. You know, you can't sit up and hate on them because it does take a lot of work. And I'm sure all these women up here have a great work ethic, because it does take work. And then when you get success, guess what? You got to stay successful. So you got to keep working at that. So it just never really ends. And my journey, just to go back just a little bit, started when, well, pretty much when I was old enough to work. Again, you know, work ethic is super important. Nobody's going to just ring your doorbell and say, hey, let me just give you an opportunity. You know, you have to go out and make opportunities for yourself. And my real journey started when I moved to New York City to pursue my modeling career at 18 years old. And talking about the fear factor, I mean, you know, I was from Alabama, the country. I'd never been on a plane. I'd never been to New York City. I was scared to death. But I was more afraid to not try. You know, I didn't grow up from money or any of that stuff, so I didn't really have a lot of examples around me of just, you know, successful people. I mean, everybody just kind of worked hard and, you know, paid their bills and kept a roof over their head, and that pretty much, you know, was successful for my background. So moving to New York definitely was a game changer for me. It changed my complete life. That one choice to decide to go for it changed my whole life. And it led me really right where I am today, because I just never stopped going for it after that. So I mean, I can talk forever, but I'm let everybody else talk. Come back to me. Thank you.
Now we have Nicole.
Yes. Well, my journey, I think is the perfect example of letting go and letting God, because looking back, like growing up, I can't imagine. First of all, I don't know what I wanted to do, but it wasn't a celebrity gossip blogger, because there was no such thing back then. Even when I first started my site, there were like a few sites around, but it wasn't as huge as it is now. But yeah, my journey started when I moved to New York, and I was trying to work for music labels, and the doors just kept slamming in my face. I went on interview after interview after interview, and I just kept getting no, 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 and I ran out of money, and so I had to move back home on the Eastern Shore, which is a small town in Maryland, and the only jobs there were like Walmart and like a pickle factory, and I knew that's not where I wanted to be. And so I got online and I started, you know, posting stories on celebrities, more so to pass the time away, and I, you know, started researching, and I was like, you know, I could probably make some money off of this. So I spent maybe 2 or 3 weeks just researching, you know, what sites were up, how much traffic they got, how many times a day they post, you know, and I put a plan together. And I say that because it's kind of hard to get to where you want to go if you don't got a plan. Like if you just driving but you don't have a roadmap, you might end up anywhere. And with me, I knew exactly where I wanted the site to be in a year. I actually made the site because I was under the impression if I show like the labels what I can do with my own brand and with myself, then they would hire me after a year. So I gave myself a year. I'm gonna build my numbers. I'm gonna have all these Twitter followers and Facebook fans, and then I'm gonna get a job. But needless to say, the site took off, and I didn't go back to work for anybody since then. But I say all this to say that like when someone, like sometimes we look for someone to give us a handout or an opportunity, and sometimes you got to create your own. And that was probably the best thing I've ever did, and the greatest gift I ever gave myself was to give myself my own opportunity. And so I hope, like, whatever you're out there trying to do, just know, like, no matter if somebody's gonna give it to you, or you can, these girls, I think all created, especially Emily, now she's designing shoes, she's going to people, like, I went on your Fly Jane, and those shoes are amazing, girl. They are amazing, but we talked about it today, just never give up. Like, when they don't say yes, eventually they're gonna come back to you and say yes. You just gotta prove yourself in your own little way. So that's my story.